Oh, damn, I'm ready. All right.
Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak, and next is Mike Brenner. This is the NBA Odds Couple Show for June 18th.
Last game,
Last
baby.
one, Game 7. Game 7. On this playoffs and in this series, we've had some winners, had some losers. We've had more winners than losers, I think.
we
I
have.
didn't go back and
There's no
officially
doubt.
check
We
it,
have.
we nailed Game 6. We screwed up Game 5. We nailed Game 4. We've had a bunch of nice.
But you know who didn't screw up Game 5 or 6? It's them Cleveland Cavaliers.
That's
baby.
right. So now we got Game 7, and now officially we can assume that the NBA is not going to be fixed for this game. The NBA got their Game
Can't
7.
push them any further, right?
I mean, I guess maybe they want one of the. Maybe they don't want Golden State to be like the epic team who wins 73 games and loses the championship. But I think we can assume that the refs won't have a side here. And we have the line Golden State -5, total 206.5. Greek, interestingly, hanging 207. First half standard lines we've seen all playoffs long. First half -2.5. Total is 104. Mike Brenner, the question is, the Cleveland's resurgence, was that for real? And are we going to see it again in Game 7? What do you think?
Well, Pistol Pete and his conspiracy theories. I love it. Well, with that being said, Pete, I don't know. There's so many factors that have, played into all of this, and I'm looking forward to us talking with Jordan Sharp later on because we all broke down that last game, and we haven't spoke with Jordan since that game. And I'll tell you right now, momentum is definitely flipped. I don't care where they're playing tonight. They could be playing in Steph Curry's living room for all that matters. All right, Cavs are 13-5 straight up their last 18 games. This team has been putting some things together. All right, I refer to that because also they're 1-5 against the spread the last 6 games. But this is not your normal game. This team has the capability to have that greatest comeback in NBA history. Boom, don't think that's not in his mind because the king wants to go out like the king. All right, I get a lot of haters, Pete. I'm a Cavaliers fan. I like LeBron James. I like the way he thinks. And bottom line, last game, he got in Steph Curry's head. When he swatted that shot and looked at him and like, man, you're messing with the wrong guy. It was just amazing to see Curry get frustrated. But I've never seen him since I've been watching him throw a mouthpiece, lose his composure. And if he's doing that, he might do that again. If I was Cleveland, I'd be trying to get him and Draymond Green so frustrated early in that game because that will make a difference. But guess what? Cleveland just sticks to the plan. That's all they need to do this game. I'm telling you, this will be a repeat of Game 5. All right, I love it, Pistol Pete. I love it. I'm talking money line plus 175.
Really? So you think Cleveland's going to come in here
I feel
take this game?
Yes,
I do.
I
You think that you've mentioned before that Golden State's a little bit banged up. We've discussed that maybe Steph Curry, forget about the knee, is just maybe a little bit fatigued. Iguodala's banged up. We know Bogut's out. Do you think that that is an issue for Golden State, that they're actually getting a little bit more fatigued and banged up than Cleveland, or not?
Absolutely. I read an article today. It was very, very informative. And Steph Curry, if he had been playing back in the day with the big guy, because basketball was different, okay?
Yeah.
This is the closest you're going to see a team that represents anything from the past, and it's the way the Cavaliers are playing, their style, okay? He's getting banged up. He's coming off of picks. His body is not built to get banged up like that.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I will say about him, there were some fouls that were called on him that were absolutely freaking ridiculous.
Sure.
They were ridiculous, and Steve Kerr's right. But what I also heard in the press conference with Steve Kerr, this is really, really what just gives me the confidence. They said, hey, you've lost 2 games convincingly to this Cavaliers team. All right, what is going to be different, and why do you think it's going to be different in Game 7? And he said, well, I'm confident we're going to win. He said, where does the confidence come from? He said, and he hesitated. He said, well, because we're defending champions. Well, guess what? That was last year. This is a different team. Bogut's banged up a little bit. Curry has got somebody in his head. LeBron James is renting space in his head, and it's amazing how it is working. I'm telling you right now, Draymond Green, all right, Tristan Thompson, the unseen. Nobody talks about him. 6 for 6, 16 rebounds, 15 points the other night. The guy is absolutely showing up day in and day out. He manhandled Draymond Green, and I think he can do it again. I don't think this home court advantage is going to help him. I think they'll take away the home court advantage like they did midway through the second quarter in Game 5. Pete, I'm telling you, this team is clicking on all cylinders. They're going to win the championship, and I love it, baby.
All right, so you like Cleveland to win outright, but we track our records with ATS, so we'll give you Cleveland +5, and is that it? Just the full game?
No, I also like the third quarter.
-1.
I'm taking
+1.
+1.
Sorry, +1.
I'm not on Golden State.
Right,
I'm not knocking them, but guess what? This is a different setup here, this Game 7. I just really feel because home court has not been as dominant as years past with other series. Because of that, they already know they can win here, so there's no fear. They don't have no butterflies. All the pressure, if any pressure, is on Golden State. They're the defending champs. Everybody expects them to win. I'm telling you, Pistol Pete, it's a done deal.
You're going to give 2 official picks, Cleveland +5 and third quarter +1.
Any thoughts on what I just said?
I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm actually starting to agree with it more and more because I think that Golden State might actually be banged up, and even if they do get a little bit of help from the refs who feel guilty from Game 6, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to cover. So 5 points is kind of a lot. Could see this for many reasons going down to the wire. And in a Game 7 like this, you're given that's a pretty big cushion you're giving to Cleveland, even if they don't come out and pull out the
I just like it. He's going to bring home a title to Cleveland. He's going to accomplish his mission, buddy. And hats off to you, LeBron.
And my pick is going to be first half under 104. I like this one. This is one of the games where I like it considerably more than other games. I do think we know the Golden State plays a little bit slower at home than they do on the road, and I think it's going to be a deliberate pace, certainly from Cleveland, certainly from Golden State as well. I don't think they're going to try to just come out and play some sort of speedy pace. I think we're going to see a deliberate pace more likely in the first half, but probably in the whole game. I like the full game under as well, but I'm just going to give the first half under because I like it more there. Under 104 is going to be my one pick for the game.
And you are totals low, Shaq. I'm serious. You've had a really good read this playoffs on first half, Pete. Here's another factor. It's Game 7, so if anything, it's defense that's going to win the title, so they got to lock down.
All right, let's go to Jordan Sharp. Jordan Sharp, Mike Brenner liking the Cavs on the outright win. I'm liking the first half under. What's your take on those, and what prop bets do you think might have some possible value here for Game 7?
Talk to us, big man.
Game 7, baby. It doesn't get any better than this, and I pretty much concur with whatever you guys are saying. I mean, Mike's talking about it. You got no Bogut. Andre Iguodala's back probably feels like a 65-year-old man's at this point right now. He's moving around very gingerly at this point. We don't know how healthy Steph Curry's knee is. I mean, it's not a bad call. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. I think 5 points is probably undervaluing the Cavs a little bit here with how banged up the Warriors are. When you go to Pete's side, I absolutely agree with what Pete has to say on this one. I think this is going to be a defensive game. One, Pete mentioned it. Warriors play slower at home. They're also, I think, going to go small early, and they're going to switch on defense as much as possible in this one. They need to force Cleveland to go small because even though they haven't played like it the last couple games, they are a better team when they go small, even with Iguodala a little bit banged up. But that being said, I think the Warriors' defense is going to ramp up a little bit more here at home. Not saying that I like them to win because I was completely wrong about them the last 2 nights. I thought they'd win the last 2 games, so I'm not even going to go into that direction. But I do think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think you could take advantage of some of these props, though, as well with some of the injuries that we're seeing here for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, for sure. So if we expect a defense-oriented game, what props might play into that?
So another guy that I forgot to mention as well, it's a little bit injured now, and it hasn't really been talked about as much. Kyrie Irving hurt his foot a little bit here in game number 6. I don't know how much that's going to affect him. He did have a little bit of a worse game. Obviously, he's coming off 3 huge games. You had to expect a regression, but if he's still a little bit banged up, right now it's the only time in this playoff series that we've had actual player props out at Bovada Sportsbook 24 hours before this game starts. Cleveland's Kyrie Irving has an over-under for points of 27.5. That is a hefty amount of points for a guy that could be a little bit banged up. So 27.5, leaning towards the under big time on that. His over-under for points, rebounds, and assists is only 35.5, so that it's high when his points alone are 27.5. So I really like that one. And man, you guys touched on it. Can't believe we didn't touch on it a couple days ago, though, but with Bogut out, Tristan Thompson has owned the Golden State Warriors on the boards and in the paint, offensive rebounds and the like. He had a double-double. His over-under for points and rebounds, guys, start salivating on this one. 22 points and rebounds over on that one all day. I nailed that one 2 nights ago. I love that play once again coming in here at Game 7. I think he's going to absolutely destroy the Golden State Warriors on the boards with Andrew Bogut not in this game.
Hey, Jordan, I got to talk about it because you and I mentioned it last time, all right? He screwed up one opportunity, and, this is his contract year. I'm talking about Harrison Barnes. Yep. What does he do in Game 6? Goes out and lays another egg. 0 for 8. Yep. Can you believe this guy just pulling a Barney Fife and shooting himself in the foot because he's missing out on millions of dollars? I don't think that this team, the cohesiveness is anywhere near where it was last year, let alone what Pistol Pete said about the injuries and how you touched on it as well. Yeah, Iguodala stepped pretty heavily on Irving's foot. It was swelled up. The report I hear, he's fine. And guess what? He just needs to operate this game. He doesn't need to do anything spectacular. He just needs to quarterback it. Let LeBron run this frickin' thing into the end zone because that's what's going to happen. I'm telling you guys, this is a big win. This is a big win, and I don't see this game a 1 or 2 point close game. Cavaliers going to get it done, Jordan.
All right.
It's not a bad call, man. I could easily see LeBron James once again having one of those games, locking up the Finals MVP and locking up a championship for the land, as they say.
Exactly. And he is the king. He wants to be the king. And if you put on top of that the greatest comeback in NBA history, he's got to look at that and go, there's another one I can put on my shelf. So I'm all over it.
Okay,
it would
sounds good.
cement his legacy for sure. It would absolutely cement his legacy if he goes out and wins this game.
And you know what I think I'm going to do?
You're going to go out and put a bet on Cleveland,
just to jack up everything. We're trying to jack up everything. I'm liking the unders a lot more now the more I'm thinking about it. I'm going to go first half under 104, and I'm going to go first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter under, and the full game. First quarter is 52, second quarter is 51.5, third quarter 51.5, fourth quarter 51, and I'll take the full game under. I'll take the Greek, though. It's 207. The rest of the market's hanging 206.5, but the Greek is strangely has a lean to the over. I'm going to take the under 207 on that one, so I'll give 6 picks. And Mike Brenner, I have to say that I'm agreeing with you on Cleveland +5. I'm thinking
it's over. You don't need them points, Pete. You don't
so?
need it. I'm telling you right now. And if they lose, guess what? I'm going down swinging, and I'm going down totally okay if they lose. But there's no if in this sentence today, guys.
And you know what? I'll add a 7th pick. I'll tell you on that one, Cleveland +5 as well. All right, well, Game 7, there it is. Mike Brenner calling for an outright win. Certainly likes the points a lot at +5. I'm liking unders every which way, and I guess that's about it.
I can't wait. It's been a great season, NBA. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Jordan. Hey, let's pick it up. Football's right around the corner, boys. Let's cash some tickets. Let's continue to whoop that bookie's ass.
Always on the go? Bet365 has one of the top mobile platforms in today's market. Sign up today and don't let your busy life keep you out of the game.